a bonus episode of the Orlando Shine Show. We're sitting down with cool local people shaping Central Florida. Artists, builders, organizers, and neighbors with stories worth hearing. Right here on Real Radio 104.1 FM.
All right, this is a bonus episode of the Orlando Shine Show. I'm hanging out at the Orlando Science Center, and I'm surrounded by professional game designers, and I have so many questions. Guys, can you tell me, we just did a little video, but I had so many questions that came up. Can you tell me your names real quick, and then let's get into the nitty gritty.
Sure. My name is JB Howell.
JB, I love it.
I'm Darren Humphrey.
And I'm Barry Allen Warren.
Barry Allen, just like the Flash, guys, from DC, TM. You're all kind of representative of a different level on the game journey, right? So we have JB, you work for a professional game company.
I work for a publisher, Druid City Games.
Druid City Games, which Druid City, is it an actual city or?
It is not.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's just the name of the company.
Okay, because it almost sounds like a Pokemon city. Can I? I wasn't sure if we were allowed to say that. Okay, Darren, you have published a game.
I have self-published this. I did it on a platform called GameFound, which is like Kickstarter, but just for board games.
Just for board games?
Yeah.
Okay, and can you say the name of your game? It was
My game is Waddle Waddle, and it's a game about penguin conservation.
I love it. Never stop saying Waddle Waddle out loud for us, please. And then you're just starting, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So can you say the name of your game?
Yeah, my game is named One of Us Must Die, and it's a improv party card game.
Improv party card game. And so, guys, what does this mean to self-publish versus work with a publishing company? Can someone tell me the difference?
Well, I can tell you, going through the self-publishing process, you've got to do everything. So it's fun to make a game, design a board game, play it with people, but then you realize how much more work publishing is than the game design. You've got to talk to a manufacturer, you've got to talk to artists, there's legal contracts, you have to have releases for anything you've had made.
Likenesses, because yours specifically has
Correct.
pictures of actual practicing scientists.
Of pictures of scientists, and I'm using the name of their organization in the game, and had to have a contract for we're paying $1 per copy to Global Penguin Society and another $1 to Sandcop. And there's a contract that says we're doing that. That's not just me making that up.
Right.
So, and then, then you got to pay for ocean freight for containers full of games. And then they got to put them in your garage. And you got to box them up and sell them and everything.
Marketing.
Marketing is probably even harder.
Right?
Yeah.
Having to talk to a bunch of weirdos at a science center. It never ends. Yeah.
Whereas if I had gotten picked up by a publisher, they would have written a
check
and a royalty contract, and that'd be the end of it for me.
JB, is that true? Is that really how
It is largely true. When I talk to people that are interested in being game designers, or they're first-time game designers, and they ask that question, should I self-publish or should I try to go with a publisher? I always respond with a question. It's like, do you want to be a business owner? Like, do you want to focus on being a creative, or do you want to run a business?
Okay.
Because being a publisher is running a business, and the creative portion gets shoved way in the corner. So,
and you already have distribution channels that are baked in, right?
Yeah, most small publishing companies staff between 4 to 6 people, maybe even 1 to 6 people, depending on the size of the publisher. And there's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of project management, there's manufacturing and logistics. There's a lot that goes into it. You need a marketing person if you really want to have success, because if nobody knows you exist, they're not going to find it by accident.
That's right.
Are we scaring you off of your self-publishing journey, or are you thinking you're weighing the option right now of whether to self-publish or go to a publisher, right?
Yes, exactly. So I'm kind of taking it one day at a time, see kind of where the universe takes it. But
what's the universe whispering in your ear right now?
Again, it's one day at a time. So we'll just right now, I don't feel the energy like JB said to
Because you have a full-time job.
I do. I have a full-time job, and I would love to have, like if someday there was a business, this would be a great business. It'd be something great to hand down to my boys. But if I were to flip a coin or just to make a guess, I would be probably to sign it. But the game design.
Darren, you did it. You're doing it. What do you think if you could time travel? Would you have self-published, or would you have tried to make it a little sexier for a game company to buy it from you?
Well, I went down the road. I pitched it to publishers.
Okay.
And did not get anyone to pick it up. I had one company they're interested, but the timing was off because they
Happy Feet
just
come out
published a game with similar mechanics to mine, and said we couldn't do another one similar so soon after it.
That's interesting.
They were really positive and said we would have picked it up otherwise.
JB, what's that about? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
When board game publishers are curating a portfolio, right? Like you're going to have a list of offerings. You don't want to have two games that are similar,
because then you're just cannibalizing your own market.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Like you have a dedicated market. Like there's fans of Druid City Games. They like to follow us in each of our new releases, and you can't like dip into the same well again. Like you need to present something new and exciting each time. So the catalog that publishers have is very tightly curated. And
years out, JB?
Yes,
years out. So like you would, if you saw something that maybe wasn't a good fit for this year, but you could potentially buy it for and sit on it, incubate it like a penguin baby?
I just put together our 3-year pipeline.
Okay.
So we have the games slated for our company for the next 3 years.
Wow. Can I ask, what does the trend look like? Is there something that we should, what's something that's flashy?
I mean, we try to balance, we like to have heavy games.
Okay.
So, I mean, we do our big box games, which cost usually around like $120 to $150.
Wow.
So they're big games that have a lot of stuff going on. They're big strategy games.
Like Dungeons and Dragons?
Not role-playing games, though.
Okay.
But if you took a board game, self-contained within 3 hours version of like a D&D, sure.
Your face twitched a little when I said Dungeons and
No,
Dragons.
I love Dungeons
you
and Dragons.
do? Okay.
But it's a whole
different thing.
It's a whole different part of the hobby.
Got it.
So because I actually used to write for role-playing games early in my career.
Okay.
My first publication credit was in 2003 with Shadowrun, which is a role-playing game. But I
know what Shadowrun is.
I played Shadowrun.
But that was, my teenage years, my 20s, I did a lot of role-playing games.
Okay.
And then in my 30s, I shifted to board games.
Got it. Because you're an adult now?
I'm an adult now. Yeah. They're all, it's an entirely different craft.
Got it.
Designing role-playing games and designing board games it's a different skill set.
Is that a conversation that you all keep having with people? Is the difference between maybe role-playing games versus board games?
I mean, because the crossover is appealing to a lot of people.
Right.
Like, there are board games that are very role-playing-esque. Gloomhaven is probably the most popular title.
Okay.
In that crossover space.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's a market for that too.
Those are they actually call those tabletop role-playing games. So it's like a hybrid.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you know me. Okay. Yeah. I love the difference. Okay, so then what is that looking at then? So do you have any advice for someone who is trying to pitch their new game? What does that look like?
If you're going to pitch to a publisher, what I would say is know the publisher.
Okay.
You don't just want to blind pitch.
Got it.
Because publishers do carefully curate their catalog. And so if you see what they've already published and you think you have something that would be a good fit, there's publishers that do a lot of we do a lot of narrative-based games. We like having a lot of atmosphere and do a lot of world building with our games. So
okay.
If you've got a game that comes with a whole setting that you put together with a background and all of this, and you're a bit of a writer, we love stuff like that.
Okay. That's your Shadowrun background.
Yeah, but other publishers won't have any sort of narrative drive in there. So pitching that game to them wouldn't have much value. So you want to know the publisher you're pitching to, and you want to have an idea of what your product is and not just what your game is.
Got it. And who your game is for.
Who your game is for,
okay.
and what it looks like as a product.
This is Shark Tank. Your
It
Shark Tank
can be a little
yourself,
bit.
right? There you go. I'm glad. Are you getting
I'm
kernels of
taking
wisdom?
notes. Yeah.
Okay, mental notes. Is there? What does it look like? Like, is this a full-time gig for a lot of people? What percentage do you think of people become full-time game designers?
It's small. I was a freelance game designer outside of my IT career for 25 years.
Okay.
So it was a second career.
Subsidized by your day job.
Yes, that's right.
Love
and
it.
I would say that like 95% of game designers are in that bucket.
Okay.
If you are, especially if you're a freelance game designer and you're doing it full time as a freelance game designer, it's a very, very small percentage of people.
Are there trends that game designers should be looking for coming up? Like, you just did your 3-year plan. Is there any what should people be looking for?
It's very tough because people typically tend to design based on what's currently trending in the market,
right,
which is now 3 years behind.
So
how meaningful that is hard to know.
Okay. Well, for instance, like Waddle Waddle is made with no plastic products, right? Like,
That's
I
right.
think it was upcycled or recycled.
It's all sustainable, like forestry certified sustainable cardboard and wood in it.
I love that. So that means you put attention into sourcing those materials because you knew what your buyer would ultimately
Yeah, my
be.
target was always science centers, zoos, aquariums, places like SeaWorld.
Okay. Smart, right? To think of that.
Mhm.
Is that something you see more of now?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a handful of publishers that are very environmental conscious.
Okay.
And so they, as part of their brand, everything they do is going to be along the same lines as Darren just described, with sourcing the right materials and making sure that everything is eco-friendly.
I love that.
So, I mean, it's a niche part of the hobby, but it does exist.
Gentlemen, I could talk to you all day, but is there anything you really want people to know about you, how to follow you, things that you're working on? Now is your time.
I think we'd be remiss to plug the Orlando Board Game Design Group, which meets every Thursday at 7
Yeah.
at the Coliseum of Comics on East Colonial Drive.
You were saying dangerously close to Fazoli's Pasta.
It is very close to Fazoli's. And Crocante, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, with that I can't remember what is it called, Crocante? The pork.
Yeah, I think it is.
Crispy skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that group has been around for about 13 or 14 years.
Okay, so
and there's 50 or so people that are interested in game design in the Orlando space, and they come and go. There's a few dedicated people that have been there the whole
that's
time.
a pretty good number for Orlando size, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and we always want people to come out,
Okay.
and
Bring your
explore
game.
your creative side.
Yeah.
And game design is a very challenging craft because a lot of other creative endeavors you have an opportunity to practice.
Yes.
Like, you can sit in your room and play guitar for 3 years before you ever sit in front of another person. Game design doesn't work like that. Like, the first time you try to design a game, you're vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there in front of other people, and you've never done this before. It can be really intimidating. So
Right?
we have a really welcoming group.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of Dungeons and Dragons, was designing the world, but I hated opening it up to my friends because they'd always ruin it.
And you might think you've created the best game ever, and then you put it in front of people who you don't know, and they play it, and they find all the problems with it.
Okay.
Things you didn't think about, or things that you thought would be like, oh, it's going to be a great combo, is just either horrible or way too powerful or whatever. And the playtesting is just so key.
Okay, I guess I almost went down another rabbit hole to ask you about that. But gentlemen, this is your last chance. Where can people follow you?
For me, brushtailgames.com.
Love it, Darren.
And for One of Us Must Die, the generouslycreative.com.
Generouslycreative.com. JP?
You can look me up on boardgamegeek.com, or if you want to follow Druid City Games, it's druidcitygames.com.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We have a video coming out if it hasn't been posted already. All of these men will be hanging out at Science Night Live on the 30th. You can interact with them in their games in person. Be there or be square. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.